Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1972 Winter Baseball Classic. We are down to our final four squads in the tournament. We have a series today between Memphis and Hollywood. Let's look at the bracket, and we'll show you what's going on here. We're down here, the best of 7, round 5, where 4 teams are left. Seeds 3, 4, 8, and 11. Memphis being the highest seed. Let's show you their path here. Memphis opened up the tourney, hosting New Orleans. They beat them 4-2, putting them in the winner's bracket. Beating Mississippi 3-2, giving them a bye. That's their 7-4. With the bye, they hosted Coney Island, beat them 3-1. So they're a very respectable 10-5 record, tied with the best overall record of the remaining teams with Savannah. They have a bye. Now Hollywood, their curious trip here. Hollywood, they opened up by beating SeaTac 4-3 in the round of 7. Then in the winner's bracket, stunningly, they got swept 3-0 by Missoula. So they're still alive. They'll have to play in the round of 3. But their overall record, there's just +1, -3. It's -2, 4 wins and 6 losses. So they get a very low seed, an 11 seed. That low seed has seemingly ignited this club, because in the next round of 3, they needed to win 3 out of 4 games to continue. They beat St. Petersburg 3-0, so they're definitely advanced. Then in the next round, they needed to beat Vancouver 4 out of 6. They beat them 4 out of 5. And that means that they bring an 11-7 record. They've won 7 of 8. And that's the record they bring into this series. And it continues, folks. Let's show you what's happened. Game 1. Bill Singer for Hollywood, Clyde Wright for Memphis. Hollywood keeps it rolling. Bonds RBI single, 2-run homer, Bobby Mercer. Single, bases loaded, walk for Joe Morgan, like that's never happened. Ken Henderson sac fly. 7-2 final in this one, not very close at all. The visiting Hollywood team continues their roll. Let's look now at game 2. Memphis needs to even this thing up. Jerry Royce, Jack Billingham. Pretty much same kind of thing here. It's competitive early. It's a 2-2 game. But then in the 8th, Jack Billingham, he runs out of gas. Single walk, and then sadly, Memphis has to go. Their pitcher is its point of weakness, and we have nothing but journeymen in this bullpen. No real matchups against a Hollywood team that has a high on-base percentage. You get a single, a walk, sac fly, a 2-run homer by Bobby Grich in the 9th. Another easy win for Hollywood on a tear. 8-2 final. Then we have to come back home for game 3 in Hollywood. And it's Sam McDowell for Memphis, Ken Forsch for the Hollywood squad, and this is even easier. You get a run-scoring double play, you get a 2-run, 2-out single here, you get a Bobby Mercer 2-run homer, RBI double Ken Henderson. Meanwhile, Ken Forsch throws 2 hits through 8 scoreless innings. They bring in Paul Lindblad just for something to do in the 9th. This is a 7-0 skunking. Hollywood is wiping the floor in this tournament. We've got a juggernaut we haven't seen in this tournament before, mostly because even though you see some Hall of Fame and All-Star names, they're usually not having their best cards, which is why the cards are here. So it is 3-0 Hollywood. They've won 10 of 11, and they've outscored Memphis 22-4 in the process. Gosh, we have a bloodletting here. In a game 4. I hope Memphis is enjoying the sights and the scenery, the tar pits and the Chinese theater and all that sort of stuff. Here in West Hollywood, the Baroque bookstore, where Red would sell his Henry Miller and Bukowski books and so forth. Memphis trying to maybe get a gentleman's sweep, get a victory in this thing, versus the Hollywood Knights, the Hollywood Hills. Game 4, your starting pitchers today. For the visitors, Memphis, it's Steve Dunning, 1972 Cleveland Indians, 6-4 in 105 innings. Bill Parsons, the ace of Hollywood, 13 wins, 3.91 ERA, 214 innings for your Brewers of 72. Let's get started. Amos Otis leads it off. 4-4 off Parsons, center X. Mercer is a 1E3. We have had, this is one very cool thing about this tournament if you've been watching. The center field play has been absolutely immaculate. We've got ones all over the place. We've had -4s and -3 arms. Today we got Amos Otis for the visitors, 1E3 -4 arm versus Bobby Mercer, 1E3 -2 arm. We just had a series with the -3 arm of Monday and a -4 arm of Reggie Smith. It's been rather remarkable, this era of center field play, including, of course, Willie Mays, 41-year-old Willie Mays as a 2 with a -2 arm in center field. There's my commentary on that. So, anyway. Batting second, Cookie Rojas, 38, pops to first. Joe Torre, 1-3, flies to right. Bottom of first, it's Joe Morgan, 67 is a fly to left. Bobby Grich, 1-2. Third A plus injury. Not that debilitating as Paul Shaw is also a third baseman. He's on the bench, so he'll come in. The Kansas City's Paul Shaw to replace the injured Grich. Bobby Mercer, 1-9, rolls a short. Willie Stargell, 1-5, strikes out. Tony Perez, 6-12, pitcher. And Frank Robinson, 4-11, left X. Out in left field is Ken Henderson, a 2E10, makes the catch. Bottom of 2. Bobby, U.S. Bonds, 1-5, flies to left. Ken Henderson, 65, strikes out. Bob Robertson, 6'11", pitcher X, Dunning, E27. And that's going to be a single. And with 2 outs, it's Ken Boswell, 36, is a walk. 2 on, 2 outs, Jeff Torborg, 58, double 1 of 10, that's an RBI. 2 out, RBI double by, of all people, Jeff Torborg. A 209 average for your 72 California Angels. Second and third, Roger Metzger. 46 is a walk. You don't do that to 222 hitters to get to Joe Morgan in a bases loaded situation, but that's what we got. Bases loaded, 2 outs. This could be your tournament right here. The pitch to Joe Morgan. Oh yeah, that'll just about do it. 2-5. Well, maybe not. It's 1-1, single ... It is 1-1! When it's coming up, Roses, you breathe it in, folks. 2-5, 1-1, single ... That turns into a 3-run, 2-out triple for a team up 3-0 in the series. Cleaning off the bases, it just scooted under the glove of Amos Otis in center field, who can't believe it. And Morgan dusts himself off at third base in a 4-0 game. Paul Shaw is the batter. 66 off of Dunning, flies to right field. Well, 21 outs to get and a 4-run deficit for the stunned Memphis team, who has had nothing to cheer about at all in this round of the tournament. Mike Lum, 49, flies to center. Jerry McNertney, 110's a walk. Concepcion, 35, is a walk. 2 on. Here we go. Amos Otis. You need something here. 48. There we go. It's a base hit in the center field. McNertney will not run out of the inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. They're going to play it back with a big 4-0 lead for Cookie Rojas. 6-10, third X. Shaw, in for Grich, who got hurt. Actually better defensively. A 3E23 third baseman. It's an error, though. That is an error. That hurts Hollywood there. And that's how Memphis gets on the board. It's 4-1. Bases loaded, 1 out. Still playing back. Joe Torre. 2-5 for Torre. A base hit to right field. Here comes Memphis. That will score Concepcion. Otis. 17 runner. Bonds -4 arm. No. Respect the -4 arm. Try and get a big rally going. Leave them loaded with 1 out. You got Stargell, Perez, and Frank Robinson. No slouches at all. I'm telling you, Memphis has got a really Hall of Fame quality team too. It's just that Hollywood's overshadowing them. Otis stops at third, Rojas second, Torre first. Still just 1 out in a 4-2 game. Playing back. Ty runs at second base, folks. Willie Stargell. 311 is a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. My goodness, just what Bill Parsons needed. That hurts. And now they're going to regret not sending Otis. Stargell inexplicably double plays because most of the time you get the hit, homer, walk, strikeout. But in that particular role, they found the 4-6-3 double play on the card. Very bad luck for Memphis there. Okay, 4-2, still a good game. Bobby Mercer in the third. 56, short X. Concepcion's a 327, and that's going to be a single. Bobby Bonds, 2-8, that's double 1 to 6. It's a double. Here we go again with Hollywood. Second and third, nobody out. Ken Henderson. 55 off Dunning, single one, line out. They don't get the single one. They don't get the one a second time. They use it up there, and when it was more valuable. That's a line out to short. They're going to bring the infield up with one out for Bob Robertson. Keep this game close. 52, sac fly. 5-2, runner at second, Ken Boswell. Bounces to second base. 5-2, into the fourth. It's Tony Perez, 5-10, catcher's card. You got Jeff Torborg at 2E3. Thanks play. Frank Robinson, 1-6, is a K. Mike Lum, 212, is a Lomax. And finally, a good inning for Parsons. Jeff Torborg, 1-5. He's ignited that rally. Or didn't ignite it. He got the big hit in the rally, the double. The dangerous Jeff Torborg, double 1 to 8. Found his column. Having a day. Couple doubles. Jeff Torborg, break it up. He had 3 of them in 72. Here's 2 of those 3. Nice day, Jeff Torborg. Number 9 hitter, Metzger. Gosh, I almost want to bunt him to third. B. Bunter. Hey, let's do it. Bunting in the 4th inning, it works. Well, it's Roger Metzger, folks. We got a runner at third, 1 out, and they got to bring it up for Joe Morgan. 4-10, center field B, sac fly, works to perfection. Your typical Jeff Torborg leadoff double and a couple sacrifices to manufacture a run. That's how you do it. Paul Shaw with 2 outs now. 1-10, lines the second. It's 6-2. Into the 5th, Jerry McNertney. 2-6 is a walk. The catchers are having a day, folks. Jerry McNertney, 208, and Torborg, 208. You can't get him out. Dave Concepcion, 112. 112 for Concepcion. A homer, 1-16, double. The rest, it is gone for a guy who has no power, had 2 home runs and 378 at-bats. You're seeing it all here on YouTube, folks. The unstoppable Concepcion, who hit 209. McNertney hits 208 and Torborg 209, and they've reached 6 out of 6 times. Fascinating. 6-4. No one out in the 5th. Back up top, Amos Otis. 311 pops to first. Cookie Rojas 2-2. Fouls the catcher. Joe Torre 66. Double 1 to 8. 2 base hit, and your tie run is Stargell. Like it was last frame when he hit that double play. 67 is a K. Not a good day to be Willie Stargell. 0 for 3 with his 33 home runs. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay. It'll be Bobby Mercer leading off in the bottom of the 5th. 2-5 automatic. Bobby Mercer, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 home runs in this tournament. He's probably the tournament MVP. He's been tearing it up. 2-5, one of his 33 home runs for the Yankees in 72. I think one thing I've learned about this tournament is the Yankees will be selecting the 72 Mercer. He's on the keeper list for them versus 73, 4, or 5. This card is just lighting up the tournament. Not quite as good as the 71 card when he had 331, but boy, he is on fire. 7-4. Bobby Bonds, 69. Sky's a center. Ken Henderson, 2-8 Ks. Bob Robertson, 58. Double 1 to 10 base hit. Ken Boswell, 2-7 lines a short. 3-run lead again for the home team. Into the 6th, Bill Parsons, the starter, 7. Luis Tony Perez, 68 is a K. Frank Robinson, 46 is a walk. Mike Lum, 2-9 is a walk. Here comes Memphis again. McNertney, your tie run. Can we get him out? 6-12, pitcher B. They're on the corners for Concepcion. Red hot. The offense today for Memphis. Here's the pitch. 55 flies to right field. And it stays 7-4. Memphis has had their chances to hang in here. They don't have much offense, and Hollywood already has a big crooked number already. It would seem highly unlikely that Memphis can get up to 7, and Hollywood's still going here. So, bottom of the 6th, it's Jeff Torborg. Listen to the fans. They're all over it now. They know what's happening. Couple doubles. The pitch to Jeff Torborg. 1-6, another single to right field. He's 3 for 3. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Keep him in the yard, folks. Torborg is lighting things up today. He's on first, 10 runner. Metzger. Oh, we bunted last time, did we not? I'm going to let Metzger hit this time. He's actually not that bad a hitter versus right-handed pitchers. 57. As soon as I say that, second X, and that's Cookie Rojas. This is going to be a double play. It is. So, regret not bunting there. So with 2 outs, back up top with Joe Morgan. 53. Flies it in a right X. Mike Lum's out there. He's a 2-10. And Lum. You get a single off of Mike Lum's 2-10 defense. So Morgan will steal with 2 outs. Double A stealer. And this is going to be close, folks, because McNerney's got a +2 arms to get 17, 18, 19, 17. Roll to 19. Joe Morgan gets thrown out stealing by Jerry McNertney, having himself a day with the arm and the ability to draw walks. 7-4 games, top of the 7th. Top of the lineup, Amos Otis. 2-5, draws a walk. Rojas, if you weren't down 3, you'd think hitting and running. And but we're just going to have to swing away here. Rojas, 69. Second X. That was not the right call. 2-8 for Joe Morgan. That's a 4-6-3 double play. So a couple bad handlers, Metzger and Rojas, elected to swing, and they both failed miserably. Joe Torre, 2-9, grounds to third base. Stretch time here in Hollywood. The closest game we've had, it's a 3-run affair. Into the bottom of the 7th. We're enjoying listening to Concrete Blonde's recollection, kind of the greatest hits sort of thing for them. Let's start down this one. This was a pretty good hit of theirs, Dance Along the Edge. Tomorrow, Wendy, Joey, Caroline, still in Hollywood. Good stuff. Dance Along the Edge was a big hit of theirs as well. For Concrete Blonde out of Hollywood. Okay, back to the game. Steve Dunning, 6 rather unremarkable innings, but frankly, the bullpen is weak. So we're just going to keep rolling with this thing. It'll be Paul Shaw. 1-6, grounds a short. Bobby Mercer. 49 is a base hit. Bobby Bonds. 2-8, double 1-6 is a base hit, and I think we're going to stop there as we have 2 out of the next 3 guys are lefties. Dunning's weak against them. He's about to hit the point of weakness anyway. 6 1/3, he will exit, and I frankly have no clue which guy to bring in, particularly against Ken Henderson, a switch hitter. Jerry Johnson is horrible against lefties. Bill Mickelson is horrible against lefties. Lloyd Allen walks a billion lefties, and Mike McQueen's left-handed and walks just about everybody. So this is what you kind of get in the Winter Baseball Classic. But you know what? Look at the bright side. Look at all these guys: Otis, Torre, Stargell, Perez, Frank Robinson. You know, I mean, they kind of drafted that way and forgot to do a bullpen. So I guess we'll get our lefty in there for amusement and see what happens. So Mike McQueen. Because we're also evaluating these players. Mike McQueen is on the keeper list of the Atlanta Braves as a left-handed reliever, and we would like to know, the answer is, can this guy pick up a spot in the Summer League? as a lefty who maybe can get some lefty or righties out. We'll find out here in the 7th anyway. Mike McQueen with runners on the corners. They're going to bring it up for Ken Henderson, already down 3. Henderson does not have power versus lefties. Another reason why to bring him in. Here's the pitch. 4-12, skies to shallow right field. And a big moment here, Bob Robertson, who has kind of an off year, a 193 year for the Pirates, but he bats 6 in this lineup. 110 flies to center. So Mike McQueen gets that done, keeps the Memphis team in this ball game, down 3 with 6 outs to get. Bill Parsons, no danger of breaking. There's no more defense to bring in and help out. Maximum defense for the team, needing 6 outs for the sweep. We go to the top of the 8th. Willie Stargell having a rough day. A double play, a couple strikeouts. Here's the pitch to Willie. 55, pops to third. Tony Perez, 58, pops to first. Frank Robinson, 68, a strikeout, and we're learning a lot about this Bill Parsons guy. He is going to be, someone's going to take this guy in the draft and be happy that he's the 1, 2, or 3. Probably not a 1. Probably closer to being a 2 or a 3 on a staff. Kind of under the radar, solid starting pitcher. Bottom of the 8th, Mike McQueen will continue. He will face Ken Boswell. 38 for Boswell's a single. Torborg, would you believe it? We're going to pull him. 3 for 3. Oh, you got to let him swing away. We're going to let him swing away just because he's 3 for 3. Normally doesn't play versus lefties. 67, double 1, fly ball, fly ball. Roger Metzger, 54, center B. And Joe Morgan, 1-5 walks, 2 on, 2 outs. Here's your ball game. Paul Shaw, Ken McQueen, keep his team in it. Paul Shaw, 43. Left X, who's out in left field? It's Frank Robinson's a 3-10. Need to make a play here, Frank. And he does. So, Memphis is still alive, down 3 in the 9th. And you know what? We're not taking any chances. We're going to go to Paul Lindblad to close this thing out in the 9th. Another guy on the keeper list, Paul Lindblad, Texas Ranger, Washington Senator, eventually an Oakland A. Paul Lindblad, 2.61 ERA for the Rangers in 72. Eventually gets a ring with Oakland. But here he comes on in the 9th. The best, arguably the best pitcher on the team, really. In the 9th inning, he'll face Mike Lum, Jerry McNertney, Dave Concepcion. On the bench, you got Jimmy Stewart, Al Gallagher, Bill Fahey. So you really need to get this thing back to, Torrey, Stargell, Perez to have any chance here. Good luck with that. Mike Lum leads off in the 9th. 2-4, we found his column. Double 1 to 6 is a 2-base hit, and we have some life. It'll be Jerry McNertney. 66, and McNertney reaches for the 3rd time off of Lindblad. 66, double 1 to 18. It's a double. We got a 7-5 game, and we get the tie run to the plate. So we are going to get to these guys. Runner at second, 7-5, playing back for Dave Concepcion. 55 is Short X. Shortstop is Metzger, a 2E22. And he makes the play. Runner stays at second. We're back up top to Amos Otis. I mean, all these, he's got power, of course. Torrey, Stargell, Rojas has power. Interesting. So it'll be Amos Otis. Runner at second, 1 out. Here's the pitch. 2-12, left B plus injury. Well, as a placeholder, I guess, I'll remind myself Jim Stewart, if this game continues, will play defensively. But frankly, we're down to our last batter. Cookie Rojas, with a runner at second and 2 outs to the 9th inning. He does have power, and Lindblad has a homer on 6-4. So Lindblad's much better against lefties than righties, so Rojas will hit away. We're going to let him bat here, because again, on the bench, Stewart, Gallagher, and Fahey aren't particularly good. The tie run to Cookie Rojas with a runner at second. And here's your tournament. Here's the pitch. 67 hit the column. 67's a single to center field. Now, you're not going to have Otis thrown out at the plate, or excuse me, you're not going to have McNertney thrown out at the plate. You got runners on the corners, and you got Joe Torrey up. Now, Torrey had 11 home runs and 544 at-bats, of course, his power. And you got the tie run at first. You got the lead run is in the batter's box. It's Joe Torre. Torre's card is up, by the way. His 71 card was the MVP of the National League, and the Cardinals are going to have to figure out if they want him to play first base this year or keep him at third base. But more importantly, again, this is the tournament for Memphis in the hands of Joe Torre. And here is the pitch. 5-11 off of Lindblad is a walk! You walked him! And now you got Willie Stargell. They are loaded. You've got your tie run is now at second in Rojas. Torre could score from first for a lead run, but more than likely Stargell's going for the granny here in the ninth. He's had a terrible day. He's had 0 for 4 with a couple strikeouts and a double play, but at least Memphis is going to go out guns blazing here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The best pitcher on the staff, Paul Lindblad, lefty. No homers in the Lindblad card. Frankly, a single dot to tie the thing would make Memphis happy, or a grand slam. Stargell's got the 7 card, so it's 7-8 and a chance on 9. 1-7. Here's the pitch to Willie Stargell. 67. We got a single chance. It's 1-3, and he rolls a 12. And that line drive is caught by the shortstop to end the game. Tough break. Paul Lindblad had nothing in the 9th inning. They crushed his column. A right-handed batter, that's a single to tie the game. But Stargell, a lefty. Single 1-3, line out to short. Rolls a 12. And my goodness, folks, they made it a lot more interesting than I thought they would. Give Memphis some credit for competing in the late part of this game. Mike McQueen also did a nice job, didn't allowing any runs to score. And Lindblad does pick up the extremely shaky save with a 3-run lead. It is a 7-5 victory. It is a 4-game sweep. We'll take this into the post game, and at the end of the video, we'll show you the 20 Memphis cards. So Lindblad gets the save. He gives up 3 hits, a run, and a walk. Yeah, you let 4 guys get on, didn't strike anybody out. Parsons does get the win. He gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. But you have 2 unearned runs in the 3rd after the Shaw error. 2 earned runs in the 5th. Walk 6, struck out 5. A lot of walks for him. McQueen comes in and does a great job here. He gives up just a hit and a walk. So maybe, his control isn't very good. Maybe he gets added to the Atlanta Brave roster this summer. Steve Dunning was not very good. Give up 12 hits and 6 1/3. That doesn't help his candidacy for playing further this year. All 7 of his runs as well were earned each inning. I mean, he faced a red-hot Hollywood team, but 1019, 0108. Hollywood's won 11 out of 12. I don't care what your roster looks like. 11 out of 12, everybody's drafting from the same talent pool. You're doing something special. 7-13-5-7. 7-5-3-2. That is game 4 of a 4-game sweep for the Hollywood Hills. Do a quick look at these stats, and then we'll pause the video and show you the Memphis cards. Hollywood goes to the finals, and they're going to be on the road.
You've got mail.
They are the worst seed remaining. Again, the seeding was all done after the first 2 rounds of the tournament, and you keep that seeding the rest of the way. They will play the winner of Mississippi Savannah. Hollywood, once 4-6, is now 15-7, winning 11 of 12. Lindblad, if you're wondering, is 1-1 with 3 saves. He's given up 3 runs and 11 1/3. You saw that inning there. Bill Parsons, 5-1, having an outstanding tournament. And yes, Bobby Mercer, here it is. 9 home runs in the 22 games. He's got 9 homer, 26 RBI. He's 29 for 85, 341. And the Yankees are watching this going, man, don't use up all your homers now. Save some for Yankee Stadium, because he's your tournament MVP by a long shot there. How about Joe Morgan? Do you think this card gets in? The 72 Joe Morgan would have been in the World Series, right? He's 27 for 79. Hitting 342 with 21 walks. And Joe Morgan has stolen, are you ready, folks? 23 bases in 22 games. He may not have been thrown out. He's AA stealer. And he's just gone up against a bunch of weak catchers. So there's definitely a case to be made. Obviously, Joe Morgan's 75 for the 75 Reds and the 76 Reds next year. Those are the two best cards. But they might want to go take a dip with the 72 Morgan. It's a very good card. And Memphis tournament ends. I think they're back to a game over 500 after getting shelled there. Yep, they're 10-9. They hit 241 with a 3.33 ERA. No pitcher won more than 2 games. And nobody had more than 2 or 3 home runs. Was Stargell's entire tournament a bust? Let's see. He was 15 for 77 with a couple homers. Yeah, he hit 195. Jerry McNerney had a nice tournament. He was 19 for 76. He out-hit Stargell. He hit 250. Maybe McNerney actually continues his career. Doesn't seem like it. And the other stars in this team, Tony Perez, Frank Robinson, didn't do a whole lot. So we'll show you the Memphis cards in a moment. Thanks for checking this out. We'll talk to you soon. All right, baseball fans, here is the stack for the Memphis Bells, the Beale Street Legends and all, stacks and Sun Records, all that sort of stuff. Let's take a look and see how their offseason will continue. Only 3 guys on the carry-on list, as we've got Concepcion with a better card finally. It's 209, so we got a 73 or 74 card. Lum's got his best card with on the Toronto team, hitting 294. And Otis has a card hitting well over 300. So those 3 cards we don't need evaluations for. They are on the carry-on list. But we got a huge swath of players as keepers. Frank Robinson. This is 72. He's no longer with Baltimore. He's been traded. We've gotten him on an expansion team. We put him out in Portland. He's 36 years old. Here, he actually has a few interesting cards to look at all the way through 75. With the California Angels and the Dodgers. This is a Dodger card. So there's still plenty of evaluation to do. Really like him against lefties here. Still a 3 defense, but +2 and E10. Maybe he starts a designated hitter career now. I don't know. Kansas City, they have a few options for Rojas. 73 might be better than 72. He hits 261. Tony Perez, got to make the right choice here. You got to fit him in, as Cincinnati's also keeping Morgan, Gullett, and Jack Billingham. So he has to fit the right year up between 72 and 75. Is this the best year? I'm not sure. More investigation is required. Joe Torre is 31, and he just had his best career year. It's not going, it'll, start to lose his great stats. But now it might be time to move him over to first base, from catcher to third, and now over to first. You could put him in a platoon with Keith Hernandez, who's a rookie, and Kenny Reeds could go to third. Pop Stargell did not have a good tournament, and he'll hit 40 homers again in 73, even though this is statistically a very good card. Here's the Mike McQueen card we saw in the game. Not a lot of homers, none over here. Over here there are. Can he be a little situational? The stats aren't very good, but again, he throws left-handed, and it's Atlanta. They don't covet pitching that much anyway. Here's Clyde Wright. He was traded from the Angels to the Toronto team, and he'll just keep going with a nice card like this one. I think he's got another one that's also good. On the rotation with a 298 ERA, what's not to like about Clyde Wright? Here's Jack Billingham, if you're willing to put up with him being called John. He is with the Reds. He's going to have a better year than this one, though this is probably maybe the second best year of the next 4. Of course, in 75, he'll have a gaudy 1-loss record, but statistically he won't be good because that Reds team was just beating everybody up so much they didn't have, they didn't need a guy to pitch to a low ERA. Lloyd Allen was an Angel He's only 22 years old. He was in and out of the game shortly. Came on as a flamethrower for the Angels. Did a wonderful job. The Cubs picked him up. Still, he's a righty who gets righties out. Is in the setup role. It's a homer 7 there. Don't want him against lefties there. This is really the last card for Allen. It's a question, do the Cubs pick it up or go a different direction? So those are 9 keepers. Now we got 2 guys who made the retired list. Mostly because in the case of Cincinnati, they had other guys they put on the waiver list that were better. So Stewart actually went into the retirement list. He's 33 years old. Utility player, play in the infield and the outfield, and a switch hitter. I believe he's the type of guy you'd think would come out of retirement for somebody who has a desperate need for something. In this case, yeah, no power, no speed, so that's going to hurt him. He doesn't play short, does play second and third in the outfield, though, and a switch hitter. So he might come out of retirement. McNertney had a nice game you saw. Unfortunately, he's a +2 arm catcher. He's 35 years old. For Milwaukee, put him on retirement. Seattle Pilots to Milwaukee, to the Cardinals in this case. But it's 208, it's 208. If he had power, it might have made it more interesting. If he had like a walk or 2 here and had a higher on base, it might have been more interesting. I mean, I don't know what to do with a +2 arm catcher in this situation. He might be done. You got 4 guys on waivers. This is an interesting Alan Gallagher card when you look at the walk on 5, 8, 9, and a 19 hit on 10. It's actually a pretty reasonable on-base percentage for this type of card. On the right side, not on the left side. The power's on the right side as well, and he brings good defense. So, for a guy on waivers, this guy does serve a purpose at least if you need a right-hander. If you're a left-handed heavy team and needs a right-handed hitting third baseman versus right-handed pitching, if that specific need comes up. That's not normally a big specific need, though. Pete Mickelson had been in the Dodger bullpen from 69 on, and now he's starting to be just a guy. You're starting to see, this is why Memphis did not continue in the tournament. They just, the pitchers they got lit up on the left side here. And I don't know if this guy's going to continue his career, nor this guy. Jerry Johnson was with the Phillies and the Giants. Here he's a Giant. And again, this is pretty good over here. Decent enough to be a setup guy, but you just don't like to put guys like this on your roster when they can get lit up like this. Sam McDowell has a couple, actually, he's 29 years old. He's got a couple possible cards coming up here. This one, and I think 74. He's going to have a lot of walks and strikeouts. 4.34 ERA. If you can avoid the home runs to go with it, and frankly, against righties, you got a 14 chance there. That's actually pretty good. I'm willing to live with not being good against lefty as a starter versus a reliever if you can get righties out. So this is a capable card. Again, he's on waivers. So, I mean, a starter 7 lefty that's on waivers, he'll play. This card will play in the league. It's just a question of when he gets drafted. We got a couple guys that are undrafted free agents. And beginning with Bill Fahey, he was drafted into the league as a because he's left-handed, but frankly, it's just not really here. It's a 168 bat. Of course, no power. It's not going to work. Even a left-handed hitting catchers are nice, but not at this ineffective. He'll have a good 75 year, I think. By 75 and then 79, 81, he's got some nice years coming up. And lastly, Steve Dunning, who started that game, was a Cleveland pitcher with a good ERA. He's a starter 7. Good against righties, but I just can't live with this. This is not good at all. Yeah, you just do not want this on your team. That's just too many home runs for the summer league that we play, so I don't think Dunning's going to make it. Now, if he was a reliever and could just be used to get righties out, this is a real shame. 3.26 ERA, but look at the 16 home runs here, and they're all over there, too. I don't know if you could hide him on your roster as like your swing starter, but that's just too many home runs to allow. And that is Memphis, Booker T and company, serving them up at the bar, somber day as Memphis ends their tournament run. Thanks for checking this out, folks. We'll see you next time.